development in terms of mathematics is the philosophy from the elders, the African philosophy, which was luckily quite, alive and well in the environment that I grew up. Okay, you were taught your history. You were taught who you were. You were taught about the war you lost 500 years ago. Okay, and how you became a POW, a set of POW, in 3 categories. One that were left on the continent, one that were dumped in the Atlantic Ocean, and one that came to the New World and other places. And so in other words, you were geometrically and spiritually in a plane where you had information. You were quite, and then the other thing they would have us do is to trace our ancestry. Okay, back as far as you can. Okay, I can easily trace mine to 1100, and by projection back to the pyramid years, Egypt. Okay, and so every young person, to show that you grew up well, that you are a true black person, you're an African, and that knows him or herself, you have to embark on doing stuff like that. So you're not just black and proud, per se. You're black and proud because of the glory of the Almighty God that blessed you with so much. Okay, so much food, so much knowledge, so much mathematics, so much civilization, in the cradle of civilization, so much history, so much love for humanity and all that. So you got to go through this. And what that does is really keep you continuously in a state of positive experience. And that, nourishes your development. It energizes you in terms of your growth, academically, spiritual, and so on. So all that added to the search for the unified field theory. So with things like this, I would move on to the university, and one of the pieces that was done in the undergraduate was a study of the rocket. I did in a book called, it's a published book, okay? Okay, the gas turbine testing, okay? By myself, I basically studied the principles of rocketry and how math plays a role in that. Okay, and I remember a professor by the name of Professor Peter Wojcik. Okay, a very brilliant Polish professor, described this piece as a masterpiece. Those were his words. That was his word in describing the gas turbine testing. So again, there was an application of mathematics, the philosophy, the African philosophy, and and the appreciation of what the giver of knowledge, who is the Almighty God, has done. So then we moved on from there. At this point, of course, one of the things that I was quite interested in doing was making sure that the gifts that seem to be apparent in my system with mathematics was not just trivialized by people who look at mathematics as some form of abstract thing, you know, that has no use except for some trivial self-gratifying kind of feeling, you know, that you're supposed to get from abstract mathematics. Okay? So, for example, getting that formula, to me, had a lot of practical